Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Eala reflects on tennis journey ahead of Grand Slam debut at Roland Garros. Eala reflected on her tennis journey from a dreamer in the Philippines to her impending Grand Slam debut at Roland Garros, where she faces Emiliana Arango in the first round on Sunday, just days after turning 20. Having been based abroad since joining the Rafa Nadal Academy in 2018, Eala has been on a steady rise in the world of tennis. But nothing could have prepared the youthful Eala for her fairy tale run at the Miami Open earlier this year, which propelled her to international stardom, and more importantly, into the top 75 of the WTA rankings. After reaching the semifinals of the WTA 1000 tournament in Miami, Eala was sure to get more opportunities in her career, and the biggest of them so far comes with the French Open, finally set to see action in the main draw after she previously fell short of Grand Slam tournaments via qualifiers. In an interview with RNA, Eala spoke about how the journey helped her grow, not just as a tennis player, but also as a person. "I was so excited to come to Spain and to get out and to see, to broaden my horizons. And I think I met so many people here, made so many friends, and living together definitely made us closer. So it was a great experience overall. Not just for a tennis player, but for a young kid," said Eala. Among Eala's experiences at Nadal School was her graduation encounter with Iga Swiatek, which foreshadowed their eventual clash this year, having already faced each other twice. At that time, Eala said that it was already something amazing to be around stars like Swiatek and, of course, Nadal. But now that she's trying to get used to the level of elite tennis in her competition, she treasures it even more. "We were super lucky to have Iga as our celebrity guest, and to have Iva there and Rafa was really nice because it's meant to inspire us. It was a dream," she said. "And now that I look back, it's an amazing experience, and it's something I'll remember for the rest of my life, because it's the first of a lot of things." Eala added, as another historic moment looms, the 20-year-old remembered the all-important support from her compatriots as well, which she thoroughly enjoyed in Miami. Now that she's gearing up for her latest milestone, Eala hopes to share it with her fellow Filipinos anew. "I'm not normally like that after a loss, I'll tell you. But at that moment, I was just so grateful, and I was so proud that I was able to reach the semifinals, beating 3 Grand Slam winners," said Eala, speaking of her semifinals loss to Jessica Pegula in Miami. "And when you look up at the crowd, there were so many Filipinos, and it made me so happy to be able to share that experience with them." Paris, France. The cool spring air carries the scent of red clay and ambition. At Roland Garros, the final touches are being made. Groundskeepers sweep the iconic courts. Flags flutter gently above Court Philippe Chatrier. Cameras are being mounted, broadcasters briefed, and players go through their last warm-ups before one of the most prestigious tournaments in all of tennis. In the middle of it all, Eala stands still, quiet, thoughtful, reflective. She just finished her final practice session before her Grand Slam main draw debut. A small group of Filipino fans waited at the gate, waving flags, calling her name. She gave a modest wave, posed for a photo, and offered her trademark smile. But behind those eyes, focused, bright, and burning, is a mind racing with memories. Because before she steps onto the courts of Roland Garros to face the greatest challenge of her young career, Eala is taking the moment to look back. From the Philippines to Paris, a long, winding road. "Sometimes I still can't believe I'm here," she says softly, sitting on a bench under the shade near Court Suzanne Lenglen. "This place, Roland Garros, I used to watch it on TV as a kid, dreaming, pretending I was here." The journey began in Quezon City, in a country where tennis wasn't the most accessible sport. Her early years were marked by practices in the blazing Manila heat, dodging raindrops and tropical downpours, and playing on uneven public courts. "My first racket was bigger than me," she laughs. "But I loved the sound of the ball, the rhythm of hitting. I didn't understand the game yet, but I felt something. Something I couldn't ignore." By age 8, Eala was winning junior tournaments across Asia. Her talent wasn't just rare, it was electric. Coaches saw it, sponsors noticed, the Philippine tennis community began to buzz. And soon, opportunity knocked from across the globe. An invitation to train at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain. That's when things got real. "It was the biggest decision of my life. I was only 12, she says. I had to leave my home, my family, my friends. But deep inside, I knew I had to take that chance. Learning the art of suffering. Mallorca wasn't a dream vacation. It was work. 6-hour training days. Spanish coaches who demanded more with every session. A new language, a new culture, and a new standard of excellence. Eala thrived and struggled, and then thrived again. There were days I cried, she admits. Days I felt like I didn't belong, days I lost matches I thought I should win. But that's the Nadal way. You suffer. You keep going. That phrase, learn to suffer, became a mantra. Under the watchful eyes of former pros and Rafa Nadal himself, Eala's game evolved. Her natural aggression was honed. Her left-handed forehand became a weapon. She developed a two-handed backhand that could sting from anywhere on the court. But more than that, she built grit. At just 15, she won the Australian Open girls doubles title with Indonesian partner Priska Nugroho. A year later, she captured another Grand Slam title at the French Open girls doubles. She had arrived, yet she was just beginning. From junior star to pro challenger. The transition from junior success to the professional tour is a daunting cliff. Many never scale. Eala, however, took a deep breath and jumped. Her first taste of pro tennis was humbling. Losses came quickly, the opponents tougher, stronger, more seasoned. But Eala did what she always did. She adapted, learned, and improved. In the IDF circuit, she began to string together wins. In WTA 250 tournaments, she pushed higher-ranked players to the brink. Slowly, her name began to rise through the rankings, carried by her relentless play and unmistakable mental fire. There were setbacks too. Injuries, fatigue, long stretches on the road without seeing home. There's no shortcut to the top, she says. It's lonely sometimes, but it's also beautiful. And then came the news. A wild card entry to the main draw of the French Open. Her first Grand Slam debut at the professional level. I cried when I found out, she reveals. Not because I was nervous, but because I thought of every moment that led me here. Every early morning, every lost match, every hug from my mom after a long day. Reflections before the storm. Now seated just steps away from the courts where legends like Steffi Graf, Rafael Nadal, and Iga Swiatek have triumphed. Eala reflects not on the pressure of the moment, but the privilege. I don't take anything for granted, she says. Every match I play, I remember the people who got me here. My parents, my coaches, my country. Indeed, the Philippines, a nation more known for basketball and boxing, now finds itself rallying behind a young tennis star. Social media erupts every time she plays. Filipino communities across Europe and Asia organize watch parties. Kids in public parks in Cebu, Davao, and Manila now mimic her strokes. I carry that flag with pride, she says, looking at the tiny sun and stars stitched into her training jacket. But I also know I'm just one part of a bigger story. I want to open doors for the next generation. The match ahead. Her first round opponent is a former junior rival turned WTA regular, a player she once faced in a tough 3-set loss in an ITF tournament in Italy. She's good. She's strong. But I've changed since then, Eala says, smiling. I'm not the same girl I was back then. The draw isn't easy, but Grand Slams never are. The crowd may favor the European. The rankings may say she's the underdog. But the clay is familiar. The pressure is familiar. And so is the desire to win. I've played here before. I won here before. Not on this court, but in my heart, I know this place. It feels like home. Beyond the scoreboard, as the media spotlight grows and interviews multiply, Eala remains grounded. Her team keeps her focused. Her brother, who also plays tennis competitively, texts her every night. Her mother sends prayers and reminders to sleep early. I don't want to be remembered just for results, she says. I want to be remembered for how I played, how I fought, and how I represented who I am. And who she is. A fierce competitor, a national icon in the making, and a global citizen of the game, continues to evolve. Final thoughts before the first serve. I'm ready, she says finally, rising from the bench. Not just for this match, but for everything this sport brings. The pain, the joy, the grind. As she heads off toward the locker rooms, the afternoon sun begins to dip. The clay courts of Paris shimmer. Somewhere a girl watches from Manila. Somewhere else, a boy strings his first racket. Because now, they believe they can too. Eala, at 19, stands at the edge of a Grand Slam debut. But it's more than just a match. It's a culmination of dreams, of discipline, and of a belief that no stage is too grand when you've walked the road she has.